Welcome everybody to a review of one of the films from the Columbia Noir #4 box set. We're going to go through all 6 of them in dribs and drabs. I'm not going to be able to keep them coming out one day after another, purely because I've got so many films to watch and other commitments. But yeah, the first one we're going to look at is the first film in the box set itself, is Walk a Crooked Mile. So yeah, this is from 1948. Clocks in at 91 minutes long, and yeah, is a really solid start to the box set overall, to be honest, because I, on the whole, wasn't expecting the first film to be a pretty good one. Usually, sometimes the first film is one of the weaker ones, has been at least, I think, for the first 2. But regardless, yeah, this is directed by Gordon Douglas, who also did the fantastic 1950s sci-fi horror B-movie, Them. But he also did Between Midnight and Dawn, which was in the Columbia Noir #3 box set from 1950. And yeah, that was easily my favourite of that box set. So yeah, has to say that my expectations were quite high for this, especially since the cast is also pretty good. You got Louis Hayward in the lead role, who was in House by the River, which was directed by Fritz Lang. That's the only one I've seen from him. The films that I list are generally just films that I've seen from these actors or directors or whatever. In this film's case, or in future ones. And yeah, then we also got Dennis O'Keefe, who in terms of leading roles was in T-Men and Woman on the Run. Woman on the Run is one of the Arrow Academy releases, which is another really good film noir. And then you've also got Louise Allbritton, who I've only seen in one film. It's Pittsburgh, with John Wayne and Marlene Dietrich. She was decent in that, but she didn't really stand out in comparison to those 2 leads. So, yeah, the premise for this film is a security leak is found at a Southern California atomic plant. The authorities stand in fear that the information leaked would go to a hostile nation. And to investigate the case more efficiently, Dan O'Hara, played by Dennis O'Keefe, is an FBI agent, and he joins up with Philip Grayson, played by Louis Hayward, who's a Scotland Yard sleuth, and they join forces to try and crack who's leaking the information and to who. So yeah, it's a really solid start to this box set, to be honest. It's not quite as good as Between Midnight and Dawn, but you can definitely see the correlation between this and that later film, because Between Midnight and Dawn came out 2 years after this, and you can definitely see this as being a a predecessor to that film, because both deal with the authorities. Both are quite violent as well. Both have a pair of leads in who join forces with one another to help solve crimes. And yeah, it also features a script and plot that is stripped back and wholly focused on the police procedural element, meaning this really doesn't have any real characters to be engrossed by. But the plot itself is highly engrossing, while it is also way more violent than I was expecting for a film from the late 40s, which again is another correlation between this and Between Midnight and Dawn, because they're both really quite violent for films of the time. And yeah, but the reason why this is a little bit lower than Between Midnight and Dawn is purely because the characters aren't quite as good, or they're not as engrossing for starters, because yeah, the 2 leads in Between Midnight and Dawn are really rather engrossing, and there's a lot more depth to them, but in this one it's purely just about the police procedural element. But like, it's still a worthwhile effort. Like I said, that element is really rather engrossing. The pacing is also well done. The action as a whole feels far more modern than its contemporaries. You genuinely feel like every bullet shot. There's a really rather spectacular car crash, and yeah, the end action scene is quite riveting, and yeah, the unfolding mystery itself is really rather quite enjoyable. So yeah, really solid start. 4 stars out of 5 as far as I'm concerned for this film, which, like I said, isn't quite as good as Between Midnight and Dawn, which I gave 4.5. But yeah, still a really good start to this whole box set, and yeah, hopefully that quality is maintained. So yeah, this is a box set in question, in case you didn't see the video I did on it. So Columbia Noir #4, and yeah, there's 5 more of the films in the box set we're going to be going through. But yeah, due to something I'm going to be doing next month, which I'll be announcing on September 30th, we might well not get through all of these until at least the middle of that month. But I have seen the next one in the box set, so I will get one of them out at some point, the review for that out at some point. So yeah, but still, great start to the box set, and I hope, like I said, the quality is maintained, even if the variety isn't going to be all actually shaken up, because the next one, Walk East on Beacon, does sound quite familiar to this one. But regardless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.